What is going on, guys? Thank you for joining us. It is the 28th of the 5th, and we are here for the weekly FM show. It's myself and Ryan, and James should be joining us shortly from the Football Manager Whiz Kids. So thank you for joining us. And remember, check out footballmanagercentral.com, our website. Me and Ryan bust our asses on that. So go and check it out, download some content, read some stories, and just enjoy the website. But we are here once again for the third week, Ryan. We're going to be talking setup and talking through a match on Football Manager. And as requested, we have gone for a bigger team, and I've decided to mix it up. I chose PSG because I've never managed them. I know, Ryan, you managed them in your journey to Manchester United.
And on the online league.
And on the online league. So you have a bit of experience with them. But we are playing Bayern Munich today. So it's almost kind of, as I've said every single week, it's not about the result, it's about what you can find out during the matches. So show some love even if we lose. But I've done it slightly different this week. I picked the team before we came on air, as basically because the last 2 weeks we spent time going through what players we thought we should pick for the positions. So just to kind of, I want to focus more during the game this week, Ryan. You know, like picking if there's situations where last week, can you remember the wingers were getting pulled inside too much?
Yeah, but we're now comparing them to PSG's wingers.
Oh no, but I'm just thinking now we're going to give the match a bit more of our attention instead of the pre-match. We'd be able to obviously notice this maybe and fix the issue. Because obviously it's only a 45-minute show, and for example, I did pre-season today on my Zero to Hero, and I was home alone all day, so I spent 7 hours and I didn't even finish pre-season. So that shows how long I spend playing specific matches. So fitting all of this into a 45-minute show is quite difficult. And Mr. Zulu is listening. Thank you for listening, Paul. Really appreciate it. And everybody go and check out his channel, Zulu Ninja 18. He's doing a gunning for glory with Arsenal. He has just released episode 2 today. It was fantastic. I've seen them both. Some interesting signs, including a player from Basel, but I won't give it away too much. People can go and check it out. But Ryan, your first opinions on the tactic I've picked, and first off the player roles. What do you see? What you like? What you not like?
Oh, what I do like is you've got the two wingers. You've got Lavazzi, who is as an inside forward, which I agree with because he's more of an attacking player. I may suggest, I don't know if you agree with me, to change Lucas Moura to support. So you've got him just going up and down the line rather than relying on the two fullbacks to cover that gap just behind.
We can certainly give it a chance because Matuidi is the. I'm thinking Matuidi is a defensive-minded, so he's going to leave a gap. So maybe Moura's support will kind of fill in that gap a little bit for the link-up play.
So, and then I would also change, if you're going to change Moura to support, you've got to change Diagne to support.
On the other wing?
Yeah.
Well, why?
That's just the way I play.
Do you not mean the right back?
No, because then they'll be hugging each other. If you have two supporting, this is what I find. So when I play this sort of tactic, if you have both supporting on both sides, they'll support each other and they'll be too close.
So because Lavezzi is an inside forward attack, you would still make Diagne a support?
Yes, because he'll support the gaps that Lavazzi leaves, and he'll also offer the closing gap when Moura's going off on a tangent and working his way back.
Okay, let's get that in. I always thought put on attack so he just gets as far forward as he can to fill the gap type thing. But I do get what you say because support, he still does obviously fill the gaps for the midfield. So
it's up and down. It's not straight. I've got to attack everything.
Now, people who listen to our shows, people who watch my YouTube stuff, people who read Ryan's and my stories, you will always, or randomly, we will chuck in the word triangle. It is something which I'm very religious on. I've actually got a post in the making based on triangles. And as you'll see, I've put David Luiz as a ball-playing defender. Now, I've put him on the left. Now, you might think, okay, he's put him on the left, and... Now, the reason I've done that, Ryan, is because Mantuidi, as the ball in midfield in defensive role, is automatically going to drift backwards. So David Luiz is going to be the defender who receives the ball and takes touches with the ball. So I want him to pass it to Mantuidi, then Mantuidi to Cabaye. So they're going to form a really nice triangle when in possession of the ball. Where if I put him where Thiago Silva is, I would find that the passes would be too short. They'd end up running into each other at times. Because I will find David Luiz runs out with the ball a bit more.
Yeah, you may find that you say triangles. You may find that you get a square with the two centre backs and the two centre mids, which does work out quite well if they play it round nicely.
I see James has joined us.
Hello.
Have you got a cat, James? Or is that Ryan?
Yes, I've got a cat.
I'll tell you what, it loves you.
It wants food.
James has just come running back from work, so really appreciate you running back, James.
Yeah.
You can have a show. You can have a show when you're done. So I was just saying, I picked the team, James, before we come on. We've just had a quick look at the thing. The idea is to give us a bit more time to spot the issues in game.
Okay.
Today, we've had a look through the back line, James, and Ryan has suggested dropping Lucas Moura to a support role. The two issues I have now are Cabaye as a deep line playmaker. Now I stuck Cabaye in for me and you basically, James.
He would be in for me, 100%.
Deep line support, or would you be going for something different alongside a ball-winning midfielder?
No, that's exactly the way I'd play him.
Perfect. And also, the issue I think is Zlatan. Now I selected complete forward, but having Lavezzi as an inside forward, James, do you almost want Zlatan to kind of drop a little bit to give the space for Lavezzi, or is a complete forward best for him?
It's a tough one because Zlatan can really do what he wants on his day in real life. I'm talking about. He can be that player in the box, or he can come and try and be more active in the ball. I must say, I actually played against PSG and against pretty much this team last night, and I done okay, but Zlatan pretty much destroyed me.
Now I have noticed, Ryan, that his best role is a trequartista.
Now that's exactly why I was meaning the trequartista is a role I really love in the game because he gets involved in the game so much more. But I don't know if he has that, not the pace, I don't know. Just there's other players I've seen play it really well, so I'm not sure how he'd play it. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan? All I'm thinking is with the trequarista, he will drop a little bit, which will give the space for Lavezzi to get into.
Yeah, it'll drop, but then is he going to drop too much that he's practically having a dance with Pastore?
Well, that's the issue, but then we've selected support for Pastore, so possibly he'll stay deep. Maybe we can start with this and see if he is dropping too deep, we can change the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can see.
Yeah, well, and finally, Ryan, we will do the instructions. What's your first thoughts on them?
I never really use shorter passing.
You never use it?
No, purely because every time I use it, it's always the players will just play shorter passing, and they'll just think it's got to be short, it's got to be short, it's got to be short. I always have retained possession on because they'll pass short in that as well.
Okay.
But then they'll also send it long when necessary. But it won't be like more direct that they're just hoofing it up.
Yeah.
I agree.
James, would you put work ball in the box or play out defence, or do you not use them?
When I use it a lot, especially when you're a team of this strength, I like to, sort of keep the ball and then work into the box and sort of really just have most of the ball and control the game. But I use that quite a lot, especially when I'm a bigger team.
Now I know the defending side of it, the close down much more and prevent goalkeeper. They're two which I always have on. As I've said many times, I love my players to press. I just think we need to close down as much as we can and just don't give them a yard. I know you don't normally have closed down much more, James, do you?
I used to a lot, but recently I've been trying with it off to see what the actual effect. Now, the reason I've been taking it off is because, honestly, in the last 2-3 weeks of Football Manager, I've had more red cards than I have in the last 10 years of playing the game.
That's strange.
No, I don't know if this has anything to do with it. This is why I have taken it off the last week or so, just to see what the effect is.
Okay. What about yourself,
So-
Ryan? I tell you, we'll take that off. On
Yeah.
the general, now I never use Be More Expressive, but I'm never a club like PSG, so I thought,
No, you've
is
got
that something I should put it on? What do you think?
yes.
And higher tempo, or am I wrong to select that?
Depends. If do you want to hit? We're not playing PSG, are we? We're playing Bayern Munich. Do you want to hit them straight from the off, or do you want to play at their pace? And
Well, I don't want to risk obviously getting battered because we're not exactly playing a Sunday League team today. So
I think they're going to play at a higher tempo also, so maybe try and slow it down. Or just take it off and not do anything, because
Yeah.
with
Maybe-
their attacking line, I would expect them to play a higher tempo.
maybe. See, I did actually test this today in the tempo side of things a little bit in my 0 to hero. And I went on a 4-game unbeaten run where what I was doing was, in the first 15 minutes, I was checking the possession and the heat map of the opposition. And I adjusted my tempo. If they were on the back foot, I put on much higher. If they were pressing me, I turned it down. And it was amazing how much I actually started to control games. So it's definitely something we're going to look on this live stream just to show people exactly what I was doing. But I think we're getting to the last two, the mentality and the team shape. Ryan, mentality wise,
I would go for control rather than standard.
okay, control against Bayern.
Well, that's
Yeah.
one thing I never do is go standard. It's been a long time since I went that.
See, I always start on standard and flexible, and then I'll alter as the game goes on. But this is why it's best to have a couple of people on, because you can put all the ideas together, and then people can actually take away from it the mistakes we've done or the good things we've done. Team shape, James. What do you normally go for? I know I've seen a lot of people going structured recently on the Facebook group.
It kind of depends on who you're playing. I mean, and who you are. I think I would just go flexible just now. But if I'm going into a game where I expect to lose, I go highly structured.
Just make sure they keep good shape.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well that's exactly 15 minutes of the show, which works out quite well. So we're now going to get ourselves into the match. That gives us 30 minutes to analyse the game, which is better than last few weeks. I will say hello to Jake, who managed to jump himself onto the stream again by messaging me on stream. Good work. The team is all set. I can actually stick a couple of extra subs just in case. Let's get into today's game. Oh, the excitement is building. I can hear the excitement in Ryan's voice. He's just itching with excitement.
Tension.
Yeah, tension. I think it was about there. It was about right. Then we're going to start on the elevator, aren't we? Just so we can get a bit of a view on it. Okay, so they actually lined up, James, with a 4-1-4-1. So straight up.
That is very weak team for what I expected.
Exactly. That is let's have a look at the bench. So they got Ribéry's there on the bench. And that's
Where's the big guns?
Well, let's have a look. They've got Alba, Bennett is a big first team, Bastuba, Johnny Martinez, Alba, Lewandowski. So they've got like 5 or 6 out. That's quite disappointing, but it might actually give us a chance to win. Now, what I've started doing, Ryan, which I'll actually give a shout out, second yellow card for this. That's what I'm doing. I never even thought about doing this. So you have your person who, the person who gives you the advice. So I always click apply advice. What he then started doing was he would then go down and pick one of his other staff members who he trusts. So for example, this guy, and click it again, and as you see, it adds just a little bit extra. Somebody else's opinion, so you're getting a couple of people's opinion.
Yeah.
So if your assistant manager is really good, but you also have a coach, for example, in my Zero to Hero, my head of youth development in the second season became my assistant manager because he was so good for me in advice and stuff. But I've also got a coach who I'm kind of grooming to be my next assistant manager when I move clubs. So I now ask advice pre-match from both of them. I don't know if you ever do that, Ryan.
Always.
Oh, you show off. Whatever. Move on to the next thing. Don't listen to me. He probably doesn't do it.
20 years on my save. I think I've picked up a few tips.
Unbelievable. James, back me up. Is that new for you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Cheers, James. James helps me. Right. So I'm going to drop the stats down for now. Get ourselves zoomed out so we can see the lineups there. So it's just a matter just to start, just keep an eye on the shape of both teams just to see if they alter their tactic a little bit. Because they're very deep starting, James, weren't they? I wasn't expecting that formation or that lineup.
It's a strange one for sure, but again, it's just pre-season, isn't it?
See what you were saying there, Ryan. Sorry, I just want to. Oh crap! See, having this time, it gives me a chance to actually show this. So bloody hell, they skip some highlights, which are actually decent highlights at times. I'm going to go all the way back just for the most pointless thing to show you guys, just because I think it's important in talking about what Ryan said to do. So Kabay has the ball here, James, and Zlatan is here. So we have Pastore and we have Mantuidi both available for the ball. But as Ryan said, to take off shorter passing, he's straight away going over top of two Bayern players up to Zlatan. Now the ball isn't won, we lose the ball, but that's a sign of Ryan taking off the shorter passing, isn't it? That they will sometimes go for the longer pass.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to do short passing, but that's kind of showed me as well. Where you seen Zlatan there, that is pretty much the spot you will find the Traffordista for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching him here. He sits high, but he's not. There you go. As soon as it looked like we were getting the ball, he went to make a quick run. What I would say as well is we are set up for corners and free kicks, and that can be found on footballmanagercentral.com. Just go, you'll see the menu, just go into the FM guides, and there is a set piece design, and it is set up exactly how it is on the website. Again, as I've said every week, there's no point of me showing you it all because it can be seen and read about quite clearly on the website. Oh, who's picked up a knock? Oh no, sorry, it's not us, it's them. Quite a quiet 15 minutes. And my son is awake. Sorry if you can hear you crying. Don't worry, my girlfriend is there. I'm not just leaving him to cry. So the average positions, Ryan, for the first 15 minutes, I think you'll see there the issue. When you said not to make him support, my first question was, really? So he's attacking and he's support, and they appear to be cuddling each other. So I think that's definitely something to watch. He's, as you said, Moura's dropping deep, which is nice because he's forming a link with Mantuidi, who is dropping deep as well. But I just feel our right back is getting out of position. And
Yeah.
he has gave a free kick away, James, near the start as well. And was that because he was out of position? It's obviously something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, you've Lavezzi quite good as well. Where you want him,
Yeah.
quite advanced.
But as we said to people there, you've got the triangle there between Kabay, Mantuidi and Luis. Then if we can drop our right back a bit, we've then got the triangle from that wing. You've got this here from Pastore, Lavezzi and Cabai. Then Zlatan, Lavezzi and Pastore. So it's looking nice so far. Bayern, as you would expect, looking solid. No matter who they put out, they're going to be a solid team. But I think we'll just move the game forward from there, I think. So this is the free kick which our right back gave away. I think any team with Lewandowski up front, James, you've got to worry about a little bit.
Yeah, big handful.
Now, do you make set-piece adjustments, James, during a game, or would you do it for the following game?
Oh, honestly, there's a video I'm releasing probably in the middle of next week, and I analyse a game just like this, and I go absolutely fuming at my team. I'm not going to give it away, but yes, I do make adjustments, and I thought I had made that adjustment, and it turns out it was the only one of the whole instructions for the set pieces that I had not made, the one single player, and it cost me a goal, and I was absolutely raging. It turned out to be my fault.
Good work, James.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say Jake's just asked, is that Alba in central midfield? And he put it as if he was confused, but just remember, Guardiola does play Alba in central midfield quite a lot. What I will say here is you will see Zlatan's got it. Look at Lavezzi. It appears that Bayern Munich have forgot he exists.
That Tracatista role is basically somebody that roams all around the final third of the pitch.
I mean, even Pastore is in the open because there's no way that guy's catching him. So it can either be back post, has got to be where this is going. So let's move it on and just... He's held it. He hit the bar, I think. I assume that's what happened. It looked like it, Ryan.
It looked like it. Oh, it was saved.
He definitely held it for too long, but the ball still got to Lavezzi. I just would like to see it earlier.
Now he's ballooned it.
Unbelievable. So here we are. As always, people will know it by now. If they ever listen to anything I do, I always have my goalkeeper distributing to the fullbacks, because I hate giving possession back so easily. So Lavezzi's coming in. He's got the goal, and that is a result of the inside forward, Ryan.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you can, if you wind it back.
Definitely going back. So where does he pick the ball up? Here we go. So, and James, you'll see there, Zlatan laying it off to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that Tracatista role. Look how deep Zlatan is. He would never come deep like that if you didn't give him that role.
But look how terrible the defending is from Bayern. You don't expect this. He's gone round, three people? There's a triangle there. You'd expect one of them to stop him.
Got so zoomed in a little bit. So that's through the legs. Beautiful skill.
He goes inside, and nobody does anything.
It was a good finish, but that's actually what you will see that a lot in football. Though he's coming up, you'd expect this guy Alba to come across and get a foot in. So this Kurtz almost leaves it, but then because he cuts back, they both end up just running into each other. But definitely, if it wasn't says inside forward, that would not happen. So
no, he'd have gone down the wing.
Yeah.
Favourite role of mine, that.
I've noticed as well, James, that inside forwards are very, very greedy.
Definitely. I mean, I've got Hatem Ben Arfa playing for me at the minute. He is unbelievably selfish, but he is on fire in that inside forward role.
Zulu Ninja's just made quite a good point. He said possibly if you had Ibra to cross the ball early, so he's in that floating role whenever he's down the wing, if he crosses it early and Lavezzi's in the box.
I was literally reading it there, and I was actually thinking after he did it, of not just for Zlatan, but there just to put hit early crosses on. And I'm wondering if we should do that if Zlatan is going to be the one who's picking the ball up. Because Lavezzi is always going to be getting in the box, so we'll put that on just see if it does make an effect, or if it causes issues to the extent where Moura is getting the ball in a bit too early, where Zlatan's not getting in, type thing. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I'll just zoom out again. Sorry, I was still zoomed in, so we couldn't see the shape. Right, Ryan, we have Okay, Lucas Moura's here. Where's our right back? He's here. That's defence is very narrow.
But is that not a fault of Thiago Silva? Should be picking up the other man, and the right back should be watching the run.
Yeah, I would say that. Hopefully they actually move over. Let's just keep an eye on it. There you go.
Yeah, they're all going.
Well, did they move over? Or did that guy just run away from them? I'm just watching Lewandowski now. David Luiz is pointing. Oh, did you? Let's, James. If I swear down, if we were watching this game live, we'd be going mental right now. Right. As I press play, watch David Luiz here behind Lewandowski. He points as if to tell Silva to pick him up, and then so the hand goes out, and then he just wanders off. This is David Luiz in real life. He points and just kind of goes, "Well, I'm not marking him. I've passed it over." But it's definitely good to watch this because if you're playing slightly low down, one player might have a worse stat for the likes of concentration, and that will happen a lot. And you will wonder why you keep conceding that type of goal. And you just need to make sure you're playing a mentally better defender, because you might have a defender who's technically awesome, but he's mentally shocking. I think that's key, Ryan, to make sure that they concentrate and they get in the right position as well.
Oh, definitely. Especially when you've got players of the standard that both these teams have got.
Yeah. So they're distributing to the centre back there. Wonder if that's happening every time. Because I'd almost consider telling Zlatan to mark the centre back.
That's exactly what just crossed my mind there, as soon as you said that.
Just close them from being able to do that. Come on, let's just watch that. Alba's got it. Oh. Our defence seems really poor, James. They're not marking people for starters when they should be. And there you go. We've conceded a goal.
Wind it back. Quite.
How far back?
Keep going. I'll tell you when. Keep going. Because I was just watching Lewandowski for about 2 minutes.
Shall we go there? The ball's out of play, I think.
Yeah, there. Look at Lewandowski.
Shall pause if you need to pause.
Yeah, pause it here. Look, he's ran around Thiago Silva in a circle. So I think Thiago Silva doesn't know where he's going. David Luiz is he facing the wrong way?
He's probably shouting at someone in the crowd. Just see. So he picks it up, lays it back off.
And look at the gap between the centre back and the right back.
It seems. I mean, look at this. I mean, Pastore is the deepest man here. Our attacking midfielder, James, is the deepest man. I mean, James, how can we do something in Football Manager to affect that and to fix this issue?
You could. I don't know if the option is available, but have Pastore to hold his position.
Oh yes, good shout.
Oh, need to go into the advanced section for that. Also, should we have someone? I was going to suggest one of our defenders marking Lewandowski, but we've found when that happens, haven't we, that they seem to just wander off a lot, and ends up totally ruining the positional play. Yes, James, I can select a whole position, so you hopefully won't drop us deep.
And if that also didn't work, you could also have him marking a specific player tighter.
Yeah.
So he stays closer to their defender, which is the option. The aim is not really for him to mark them tighter, but it's for him to stay further up the pitch.
Yeah. Also, what I'm thinking is possibly to change the defenders to limited defenders, just because. Especially David Luiz, as a ball-playing defender, he seems to be just wandering around. I wonder if it's because he's being told he's a ball-playing defender. He's almost kind of following the ball a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Would you play players of this level, James, as a limited defender?
No.
So you're thinking just a basic defender for David Luiz and just see if that cuts out the mistakes a little bit.
Yeah, it's the only time, even at fullback, the only time I use limited is when I'm playing down the leagues.
Okay. Well, we'll try that. Ryan, I've also dropped a raw to support just because I think he's getting too far forward. Just because of movers to support, I think we definitely need to fix that with them getting a bit too close together. So let's just see if these tactical changes help. And at half time, we'll check the match stats to see exactly how both teams are playing possession, pass completion, etc. So Lewandowski's dropping deep again. It looks like David Luiz followed and tracked him. Surely that went out. I thought that curled out. They're getting a lot of space. They're getting a lot of space.
I think we need a DM.
I think we were dropping too deep. Definitely worth watching on there. The next time they attack, we just need to keep a check on the starting point of our defence.
And the gap at the midfield.
Yeah. Would you throw DM in, James, instead of maybe Pastore? Or would you drop one of the centre mids back and form almost a zigzag?
After 35 minutes, I wouldn't be changing something as big as that just yet. Taking out the attacking midfielder completely after 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Not for me. It's almost because you'd probably have to take Pastore off or move him into centre midfield and drop him a 2D back.
See, what I would say there, though, is, Ryan, is if you look at how you've got Kabay and Matuidi both within 10 yards of the centre-back, so it's not like we're leaving them completely isolated. Zlatan, that was a really nice move as well, passing it up slowly. I think my cats have had too much sugar, they run around like headless chickens. Mover there's just unfortunately didn't get it, but we've got a corner. Now, first chance to see the setup. So you'll see there, James, two people back. You've got Matuidi lurking outside of the area because he's more defensive minded.
Who's at the back?
You have both fullbacks.
No, if in the box, right at the back.
Who, this one?
Not
oh,
there.
this one.
This
No,
one.
the other one, right at the back.
Oh,
Back
this
here.
one.
Yeah,
Thiago Silva.
Good shout.
He's attacking, basically.
Yeah.
You have Lavezzi there, and Zlatan is marking the keeper because he was the tallest person.
I like that setup.
To kind of challenge. So the ball should come short, like it's set to come short, but what I found is if you tell them to play short but don't tell someone to offer the short option, they'll normally either kind of drill it for the front post flick on, or they'll kind of pick a man a lot better, I found. It's kind of a strange setup because I can't explain why selecting short works, but it doesn't play it short. It seems just play it to men better. I know what I'm saying. That should have been a penalty.
I haven't seen the full effect of short corners.
Well, what I find a lot is they pass it to the edge of the box, then they get the ball in a lot. Or, as they did there, they tried to get it to the front post who then flicks it on.
You know when you had Matuidi there lurk outside the area?
Yeah.
Well, when I have a player lurking outside the area, I usually have one that has better long shots.
Yeah, I mean, normally I can see that, but the only reason I don't is sometimes it's so. The only way to get them to pass it to the edge of the area is to tell them to do it to the penalty spot. If you set your corner to distribution to penalty spot, what you'll find is 90% of the time it'll go to the man on the edge of the area. For some reason, they just automatically pass to a person. So in that case, James, I think we can try that second half and have it set to maybe Zlatan.
Yeah.
It's something we can add. There's no harm in doing that. Penalty spot and penalty spot. And we'll edit it, and I just want to then select Zlatan to swap edge of area. Ryan, one thing I would say is I'm thinking of taking the control off and maybe seeing if we can attack them a bit more. Because they seem to have dictated the game so far.
I'd agree with that now.
And also the tempo, maybe stick it actually up to higher.
Yep.
I would like to see the stats now. I think that's definitely a good time to be checking the stats out. So it's six shots to 6, but they've had 1% more possession. We've had 84% pass completion. No cards. Pretty average game, James.
Yeah, it's quite even, isn't it, as the score would suggest.
So let's get into the second half. Hopefully we can get a victory, especially coming at them second half with a higher tempo attacking. They're not going to be expecting that. The change in corner tactic is going to throw them off because they've obviously set up for a different tactic in the first half. Now that does happen. I've seen people ask before, does altering a set piece during a game, can it work? And it can work because people will set up, and James has just logged onto the editor. See, that's right, James, I can stalk you. We have an injury. Lucas Moore has picked up a knock. And it's a severe injury, which means it will go on to the advanced one, so it's a pointless changing because it'll then make you do it again. Now, Ryan, if we go Cavani, would that almost indicate we are going with an inside forward? I'm just looking, who else could we bring on, if anybody?
See, this is where, I mean, we were talking off air that I play 4-3-3 with this and have a defensive mid from the start. But if you've got Pistorian, you can't do that.
I think if you want to go with a defensive mid now, you drop Pistorian in the defensive mid, but then you put Matuidi in that defensive mid, and I would take Pistorian off and put Verratti on. Because I think Pistorian is too attacking to play too centrally.
So who's going to play on the right wing?
Cavani.
So you want Cavani on the right wing?
Yep.
As an inside forward. He's not going to be any good as a winger. But that means we've got 2 players bombing in from the wings now, which is going to be fantastic. So you want Pastore for Verratti?
Yep. Drop Matuidi, drop Verratti.
God, Verratti was excellent, man. I remember discovering him at Pescara, and nobody had heard of him. He was brilliant. Absolute bargain.
What setting are we going with? Are we going with an advanced playmaker? Are we going with central midfielder, box to box?
It's a tough choice because I would usually play him in the same role as Cabaye, but I don't like playing 2 of them. So
we need someone filling the attacking gap in this gap here.
Box to box can do both duties.
Do you think Ryan box to box?
Yep.
And then what about Matuidi? Do we really want him defensive? Is he going to be too deep? Or support? Is that going to be too close together with the midfield?
Click on him because I'm sure there's a strange role that he can play. What does the Regista do?
That's an aggressive deep line playmaker. I think.
That's. Is that gonna clash with Cabaye?
I would say no because I would say yes because it's a support, which means he's going to be pushing up and Cabaye is going to be in that position.
I think if you have Matuidi as really defensive, you can give your fullbacks license to go forward.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Digne and Aurier are very attacking players.
I think we'll just leave him as a ball winning midfielder defensive. Then he's just doing a standard job of just winning that ball back and giving it to Cabaye. Change them to attacking, and let's get this underway.
Zulu Ninja said Lucas Moura seems non-existent that first half. How we're going to this person. He's gone off, but I do find that because I've still got him on the online league, and in most games he's non-existent. He'll get the ball and run with it and do nothing.
I put him in because of his pace. I thought he would maybe offer something which the rest of the players didn't have. Well, obviously now we're going with the Cavani, Lavezzi, and Zlatan.
Yeah, it's definitely something. If you're going to play the three like I do now, but I don't have Cavani because I sold him as well.
This is going to be nice.
Oh
You'll see
yes.
from the throw in there is laid up straight to Zlatan, who's come deep, Ryan. Then he's turned and laid it off to Cavani, who's automatically bombing in. And then Lavezzi is automatically coming in from the other wing, which is then, if needed, if he's man-marked, Cavani could actually spread it completely out to Digner, for obviously a better angle to cross it, if needed. So, Cavani took the touch down the wing, and he blew it. Brilliant. Oh well, it could have been good, James. Could have been good. Lewandowski's obviously, again, a man of qualities. He's getting the space. Zlatan's in. Oh, Ryan, he hit the corner flag. That was poor.
However, the ball over the top to him was
nice.
It's another example of not playing short all the time.
We're retaining possession, but we're not holding it too long. These are passing it well. We're not closing down as much as we should be, considering I've got on closed down much more. Definitely no red cards, James. I think it's on. Is it, or did you've got me to turn it off? That's why. That's James's red card panic. I'm going to turn that on, and hopefully we can actually stop these passing around so much.
My 2D will get sent off now.
If he gets sent off, I will hold my hands up. Let's see. There's a lot of space. I know they set us inside forwards. I know that's the main role, but there was a point there where Lavezzi could have at least attempted to close the ball down.
It hasn't changed yet.
Look, he's still just kind of stood there.
Yeah, it hasn't changed yet.
Changed to what? No, but I mean, just in general, they still should at least put some effort in.
They should, but the instruction isn't officially on yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Right, that was a good ball. That was well of Ibrahimovic held it up. And come on. Good save there. Oh, something happened. Right, distributed well. See, Mr. Zulu, after his suggestion, he said, "Oh, there's my suggestion gone." As soon as he got injured. See, they're attacking us so well, which is it's frustrating at the minute watching, because there's certain points where you're just screaming at them. You'll see here, by the way, we have 3 players marking the 6-yard box. We have Luis, Verratti, and Caballero, but unfortunately, Cavani seems to have dropped into that, and he was marking this block at the back, but he then decided just to wander off. So that's left a little group here. So hopefully the ball comes in this gap in the middle, and the 6-yard box people can close it down. Ball over the top, which is frustrating. How do you set up corners, Ryan? Do you get people on the 6-yard box like myself, or?
I usually have a look at the team I'm playing first and see who they've got. If they have massive centre backs, then I have them marked straight away, because I always tend to concede, especially at Man United. I concede a lot from corners because my centre backs, they're not the biggest.
Okay.
They're only an average of, I mean, I know 6 foot's quite big for me because I'm quite small, but when you look at the average centre back, who's usually over 6 foot.
Yeah, I think I normally have a standard setup, which is obviously on the website. People can check it out. I like to mark the 6-yard box with 3 people. Then I have the people on the post. I have my 2 centre backs normally man marking the tallest people. And then the rest are just back. But I always keep 1 person forward, obviously, for the clearance, which is normally the striker, and I normally stick a winger to lurk on the edge of the area. So if obviously the clearance just goes to the edge of the area, there's someone there to pick it up. I genuinely think James is about to take off. I don't know what the noise was, James. I thought you got a new laptop.
That's my washing machine.
That's your James.
It's just when it's finished.
I fly over, man. Get fixed.
It gets faster when it's about to finish, so it must be about to finish.
and we've conceded a goal, and it is from the situation which I thought was going to come all game long. So he's our right back again, really narrow. Now bear in mind he is actually told to stay wide, so he's just not closed down quick enough. The ball's come in, and once again you have Thiago Silva, David Luiz. Silva is actually man marking someone. David Luiz is genuinely looks like, let's have a zoom in, he looks like his hands on his legs, just having a little bit of a talk to himself. And you could see his reaction was slow. I genuinely admit now, if I was playing this save, personally, I would be selling David Luiz after this performance. He has just showed how bad his positioning is on both goals now. And it's so frustrating when you see stuff like this, especially from people who are meant to be really big quality, James.
Oh, he only cost 50 million.
Well, that's peanuts, isn't it? It's frustrating when you set something up, and you just tell them to do a job. It's not rocket science. I mean, oh my days! I'm zooming. I'm going back. Where's Lewandowski? In the middle of the two again. Every single time he is in the middle of the two, and every time he's just attacking that gap in the middle.
You know what I'd like to see? I'm not actually 100% sure if you can do it. Obviously, you can man mark a person, but can you get two players to mark the same person, so like you're doubling up? No, I've never actually looked to see if you can do it, but I wouldn't have thought so. You know, like when Ronaldo's down the wing or Bale's down the wing or something, you always like two of your players to double up on him because you know how good he is. So I don't know if you can actually get two people to mark the same person.
Let's check this out.
I would say no, but I might be wrong.
It appears you can.
Oh well. There's something new. There's a tip for you.
There you go. But hey, like we said, you need to need to learn from the as we play, and obviously we're finding out why we're losing the game. We're analysing what's gone wrong here, and we've looked into it and said, right, this guy needs man marking. Let's just find him. There you go. So he's on the ball. Mind you, what a shock. David Luiz let that guy get a shot. It's unbelievable, Ryan. Seems every single time they getting the attack off and David Luiz stood watching.
And it's David Luiz for you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
He's just not a centre-back, is he?
I did genuinely consider playing him in the defensive midfield when I was setting the team up. I'm just, where's Lewandowski?
You know what? This David Luiz having a shocker here has kind of brought up something I think that could be an idea for a future one. How about doing a starting 11? Just go into the editor, pick a few players, put them in 11. Doesn't matter about the certain team, and play players in out of their position on Football Manager. So play Luiz at centre midfield. See how he is there as like a deep line playmaker and defend. Like see if he can pass and that. Like what we all think he should be. He's a centre midfielder, and play like Gareth Bale left back, for example. Let's see how good these guys can play out of their position.
Now, you did say out of position, so maybe we should play David Luiz as centre back. Now, what I did do a while ago, I never actually released it. I think I told you about where I set up the top 20 paced players in the game, and I think Gareth Bale ended up playing right back for the whole season because
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, so there was a lot of players out of position for that. I mean, he didn't do bad actually, but it is something to obviously look into. Well, Cavani just kicks the ball out of play.
Standard.
I had that to the day. I was on the attack, and one of my players literally just passed it out of play. So okay. It's looking like it's going to be a defeat, so we'll obviously go on the stat screen and find out exactly why it was defeat. I can guarantee there'll be a couple of mistake letters next to David Luiz. But I suppose we've just seen the issue there of not playing shorter passing was the ball forward just was gifted away. And now they're on the attack. Oh. Save and tackle from Matuidi, who has not been sent off yet, by the way, James.
Friendly.
Yeah, give it time. And we are 3-1 down, and it was a set piece, and it was delivered to the 6-yard box.
The almighty power of Bayern reserves, eh?
Oh, I was just about to say, is that David Luiz, but it was Kabay.
Where was Louise on that corner?
It's fully up front. I was on the 6-yard box, but in the middle. Where's this? I was just waiting for the whistle go so I'm going the stats. Cavani just takes a jump, gets tackled, and thinks, let's go. Right, that's full time. So, right, we are on the stats screen here. So straight away, I want to see why did we lose the game. And obviously, once you've lost a game, you don't want to lose it the second time type thing. So pass completion is all looking fairly nice, Ryan.
Yeah.
Tackles. Whoa, hang on. Oh, no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. I thought it was 10 tackles and only 1-1. So you see there, it was 15 tackles from our left back, only won 10. Not many tackles from the midfield. Only 3 from Kabay.
Where's the
tackles key? Aerials 1. Okay, Thiago Silva had 6 aerial challenges. He only won 3 of them, Ryan. David Luiz had 7, he only won 4.
Does that just show how good Lewandowski is?
Well, I think the issue was, like you said, they weren't positioning themselves right. He kept positioning himself in the middle, which meant obviously as long as the cross was perfect for Lewandowski, the cross was obviously not perfect for the defender because they were positioned wrong.
Well, all game he was just floating between them both, I think.
Yeah.
And you've got David Luiz who just looks royally confused when people are moving.
He was... when people are moving, he just looks lost. So the average positions there, James, I mean, if you saw that, you'd be fairly happy.
I think it looks okay, actually. I would be pretty happy.
I mean, there's a lot of development need if you were building a team for the season to start.
I don't know if somebody like Ibrahimovic can be used in that Tracatista role. I don't know. I don't know if I'm convinced by the type of player he is to play in that role.
Yeah, definitely something to look at to maybe alter that role and try kind of give yourself a bit more of a target to hit up front as well.
You know, I would like somebody like Rooney playing in that role.
Yeah, someone who's works his arse off type thing.
Yeah, likes to be on the ball.
What I would say is Lucas Moura had the worst passing percentage. Then it was Zlatan. Then it was David Luiz. So that's definitely something to obviously pick out. Aerial challenges. Okay, he did lose 1 in the box, which was... Let's have a look, actually.
Oh yeah, that was the goal, I think. Was it? No, it wasn't. Not from there.
Oh no, that's the one he won. Doesn't matter. Whoops. What else was the tackles? Successful tackle-wise, 10 out of 10. Fouls. Okay. Interceptions.
A little message appeared on the side.
I've seen it. That's why I laughed.
Yeah. Panicking.
We're all shivering, Paul.
That first name might ring a bell.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so hopefully people can take from what happened and obviously work out exactly how to fix these issues in the future, Ryan. I mean, if there's anything you want to say before we end?
Well, I think it just goes to show how I make great decisions for the online league. Selling David Luiz. I think Moore will be the next to go because he's shown how useless he is in this game.
It's really worrying. Those stats kind of look like a second team of Bayern Munich dominated the first team of PSG.
Yeah, it was.
That's quite worrying.
I mean,
I know it's a friendly. Do that also begs another question. Do you see the difference in your team if you're playing the first team in a friendly and the first team in a competitive match? Do you see a major difference?
Um, a little bit. I mean, my players were shocking in the recent pre-season. Then as soon as the league campaign kicked on, they played well.
I'm exactly the same actually in my stage.
But I mean, if you look there, our passing completion went down second half. So did our possession, so did our shots. So it's definitely something that needs to be obviously looked at. But yeah, that's the end of tonight's show. Cheers, coming on, lads. Next week we're going to be talking more back to tactics, back to basics. So we will see you all next week for the Weekly FM show, or we'll see you on Monday night for the Monday night show talking football.